Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to Learn the Temple Run today. So this is the way the Temple Run looks. This is a needy module. What's going to be happening here is that at the beginning of this module here, we're going to have a series of different displays cycling through that is going to give us a series of different texts. Now you might be wondering why I loaded up three difficult modules at the same time. In this case we've got non-exo 1, triple traversal, and forget Ultimate Showdown. Now, what exactly is happening with this module? So, a Temple Run module consists of two displays. The top display is the response display, and the bottom is the call display. At the start of the call display will cycle through four different pieces of information. They will always be formatted as you must response the call. So, all pieces of information must be noted down as they will disappear when the needy activates, and they will be all of these sort of responses that you could potentially get. And what's very important is that you make sure that you need to make sure to check the spelling of each of them, because some of them do have very similar spelling. For example, we have the Crush versions of different spelling here. We have, should be some other similar ones. KP, I think is like a KPW variant. There's not a KPW variant, but it's a bunch of gibberish. But there's just a bunch of different spellings. There's a bunch of different, there might be a bunch of different misspellings. But making sure that you know what the spelling is and what it's associated with is going to be very, very important with this module. Now, the way that this module works, and as you can see, as you just heard, the needy activation sound just started up. And what happened there is that the needy itself did not activate. This means that this needy takes a couple of resets in order to actually make sure that you get the information. It's a very generous needy at the beginning. However, you will understand that this is exactly why it's a good point that it gives you a couple bits of information to take care of in the needy. So, what we need to do is we need to note down the response and call. And all we really need to do is note down the words inside the response and call. And you don't really need to note down you must and the in this case. So let's start noting things down. It's going to be 4 every time. So we've got owl and techno. We have, then after that, tread on loot. Then we might have own vul. And finally, pass through, and then pylons. There's a bunch of wacky stuff that you can get from this. I think Grunkle is even in this. Hello, Grunkle. And of course, learn the Temple Run today. So what's going to be happening here? So upon activation, a call will appear with a blank in the place of a response. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to take the call. We're going to take the call that we get here. In this case, if we happen to get pylons at the bottom, then that means we're going to input pass through. In this case, the response. So the responses are on the left, and the calls are on the right. The calling is information. You must respond with said information. So, if a call exactly matches a call from a piece of information, use your keyboard to type in the appropriate response and press enter to submit. Otherwise, do not submit anything. So in this case, we're going to be using our keyboard to type up our response here, and then we're simply going to press enter and to submit. And failing to submit the correct response or submitting a response at all when no response is expected will of course cause a strike. Submitting an empty string counts as submitting a response. So, upon a strike, the correct response, or empty brackets if no response was expected, will be displayed when the module is deactivated. And the module will not generate new information if it was supposed to. But now, here's where things get a little bit more interesting, and that's what makes this media a little bit tricky to actually do. A single new piece of information will appear after the first deactivation, the third deactivation, the sixth deactivation, and 4 deactivations afterwards thereon. And then the next table will give you all of these possibilities here. Note that these are not going to be associated with each other. It's not going to be swing on vine every time. It's not going to be stomp on spider, yada yada, so on and so forth. So, that's what makes this module so interesting, is the amount of information that you need to actually note down. And I'm going to do this needy for a little while, and I'm going to have a series of different tough mods to do. So I'm going to probably pause back and forth just to give you some examples and wait for the need to actually activate. So I will come back when we have the needy activate for the first time. Pause it real quick. I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, we're back. I've gotten almost the triple traversal done in this time. So now, what we have here is we have our call of loot. And now, what must we do in this case? We must tread on in this case. So tread on is what we're going to type. Now, whether you have caps on or off doesn't matter. There's no real difference. And in this case, we're going to simply enter in our response. And just like that, it's good to go. So now we're going to get our new piece of information in this case. And that's when you know you're going to get a new piece of information, is when it starts to show something that you haven't seen before. So quack, at, and in this case, zombie is going to be our call. So, if there happens to be a case where you happen to get a duplicate call, what's going to happen here is that if the call happens to be something you've gotten before, you're simply going to overwrite that information. You're going to use the most recent version of it. So just keep that in mind. If you're given a different responses for the same call, only use the newest response. It's very important that you have to that there's only one that's associated with each call. So just be very, very careful with that. So now, since this module is going to be activated normally, I'm going to be back to solving modules normally, and just like that, it's activating again. So we've got Techno as our call. Techno was owl for us. That's good to go. And now, see, as you can see, there's no piece of information that we have this time around. So let's take a look and let's get back to it first. This might be all I solved, just because of this one taking a little while, and I don't really feel like doing a Forget Ultimate Showdown right now, especially with the generation we've got. That is not the prettiest one to deal with. So let's get back to it, and that just gives you an idea. It does take a while. It took me about 8 minutes to get that thing activated, so it gives you loads of time. So just don't get that wrong. It takes a very, very long time to actually get this thing started up, but that's just because of the way that the module works. I quite like this as a module. It's a very good one. Okay, so we do not have beat in this case. In this case, beat is not present as one of our calls that we had before. So that is simply going to be the case where we just simply input nothing. So we're just going to leave it alone. Okay. Let's do it. Right, maybe? Right. That works. Right also works. Right, that works. Right gets with you. Right gets with you. Okay. Right. Go. And now, here we go. Here's the notice. Now, if there is the possibility of there being duplicate responses, as long as they don't have the same call, that's all that matters. So we can type up own, and we can type up Bramble Gaming. Okay, so there is two owns that we have here. In this case, we've got own for Bull and own for Bramble Gaming. That is perfectly fine. What matters is that if the call is the same, that's when you start replacing information. Just be very, very careful with that. So now, this was our third reset, this was our third deactivation. So this is our second new piece of information. So now we're going to get our 6 deactivation and then 4 deactivations afterwards. I'm not going to show 4 deactivations afterwards, but that just gives you an idea of what this module is doing. So, blank pylons. Pylons in this case are going to be passed through. Yeah. Get back to triple traversal. Right. Up. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's not going to help me at all. Up. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Okay. Left, down. Left, down. Left, down. Damn it. This one's being very hard to get. Left, down. Ooh. Left, down. Left, down. They're both the exact same thing. Left, down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Okay, that doesn't help. Okay, well, we know it has to have a wall next to it, so let's try and figure out some stuff here. Okay, next set. So we did have zombie. We're gonna do quack at. Okay, that's good. Go left here, maybe? Left does give me a gray wall. That should definitely be enough information to tell me that this is not it. Because we need a wall to the left, so it's gonna be this. Yep. Okay. Down.
It's hugely frustrating,
okay,
isn't it?
I can just strike on it too. That's awesome. So, apparently I did it wrong. What the hell? Whatever. Just give me the excuse to teach this module more. Did I miss something on Maze A? It's gotta be Maze A, so let's take a look. And personally, I don't really care about modules that I'm not teaching that I strike on. In this case, I'm here to teach you Temple Run. So we do not have Grunkle, which, by the way, hello Grunkle. We do not have this one displayed at all. So in this case, that is going to be, we're just going to avoid right now. So we're not going to wait for, we're not going to have any submission. We want to make sure that, of course, when the needy resets, we want to make sure that we check for new information if it potentially does appear. So just be very, very careful with that. Okay, let's take a look. Let's just go through this again. Up, down, wall to the right. There. Oh crap, I know what I did wrong. I know exactly what I did wrong. I forgot to consider this. Okay. And in this case, we've got, now, here we go. So Vol was the call that we used before. We do have this. So now, instead of own, it's now going to be subscribe to. So in this case, we're going to totally replace this with subscribe to. Subscribe to Gracie Caleb. I totally did not just do a self-promotion right there. So in this case, it's that. So I went left, and then I thought for a second that there was no wall in these other two, and that means that there would have to be a wall. My bad for mislooking at that. So right, and let's do this again. So up, left, down, left, up. Okay. Up, left, left, left. Up, left, left, left. Bravo. Up, Charlie. Then up, left, left. Up, left, left, left. Shut up, E. Then we have up, left. Okay. For loot, we must tread on. Now, of course, one of the nice things about this ED is that you can actually backspace with the keyboard. Quite nice. Okay. So that'll be our last example that we've just shown. We're going to solve this module, and we're going to act like we solved these. And that is all there really is to Temple Run. It's just a very nice ED to do. It's a very easy ED to understand. However, over time, definitely what you can see is that this module will increasingly get more information, and a lot of the times you can definitely tend to memorize the information pretty easily. Though I like this way of noting it down, whereas you just have the call and the response on the left. It's a nice, easy way of doing it. Obviously, you can do it different ways, but that's all there really is to this module to teach. We're going to now explode.
No, I can't accept it. I'm not sweet. Oh, I would love to give you that.
This is incorrect.
Thank you, Espic.
Not the answer, I'm afraid.
Why did I put 15 strikes on here?
Nice
Oh
guess,
god.
but that is not the answer, I'm afraid.
Pylons.
Nice guess, but
Okay.
that is not the answer, I'm afraid.
No, I'm just gonna go. Alright. Have a good day, everyone. Stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.